Hello. Hello. Welcome. My name is Megan. This is my YouTube channel, my Flosstube channel, where I talk about floss. Specifically, where it goes, i.e. cross stitch. That's what we're here to talk about today. How many times have I filmed this video? 3. Yep, because my computer isn't saving videos, so I had to delete a bunch of stuff. So hopefully I don't need that. Because Flosstube is more important. Yes. Today is July 31st. It is a Sunday. It is a leisurely Sunday. I am going to show you all of the things that I stitched on, and with that, I got some stuff, and then I have a huge life update for those of you who want to know. It's going to be at the end of the video. It's more of an intimate life update. So if you want to know me in that way, you're welcome to. If you don't, no hard feelings. It's fine. So, yeah. I'm going to jump right into what I stitched on this month. If you've been following me since January of last year, you already know, because they're the same projects every single month. Because I'm monogamist, in a way. Well, I guess I'm not. I am polygamist, but in a monogamous way. Because, like, I have 3 and a side piece. And then I have a lot in a box. That's not the same thing. But what I'm saying is that I have, lots of whips, but I'm only working on 3. It's fine. We're good. Yes. So my goals for 2022 have been to have 13 projected finishes. I think I'm currently at 8 or 9. So I'm 2 ahead of schedule, essentially, which is very good. That makes me happy. Let me show you what I stitched on this month. The first is a finish.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I need my book.
Come here, book. Yeah. Okay. I'm so sorry. My first cross stitch that I stitched on is the Crochet Collection July, thus pictured. What do you see about this picture? Answer, it's American, obviously. Canadian, American. So I had to chart a couple things. The flag and this hat thing. I don't know what that is. Is that Uncle Sam? Is that supposed to be? I don't know. I don't know how America works. But that. And I also changed the color of the fabric to pink, which I was very happy about, but then I didn't rechart the color of the letters, and so I have like a weird 50s like pastel pink mint combo that I don't love, but I don't hate. Yep. This is stitched on a 32 count linen. There it is. Yeah. It's charted. I stitched it using DMC and 1 treasure braid, which is in the sparklers. So there it is, July. The only thing I stitched on this year was the J. Everything else was already finished. There's my little recharted maple leaf. I did that myself. I did use Google for reference, but I had to chart it myself to fit the width of the space that I had. And then I swapped out the American hat for this little orange bow. Not to get political, but the orange bow represents all the missing murdered women and the Every Child Matters movements, because whilst I am proud to be Canadian, I am disappointed in the lack of respect that we have as a country for our Aboriginal communities. So I just wanted to pop that in there for myself to remember to be better. And because, I don't know, I feel like they deserve to be stitched. That message deserves stitching. I don't know. Oof. Hopefully that doesn't, I don't know. It's always weird getting political, because I'm always like, I don't really want to dive deep into it, because I don't, that's not fun. But I also, even the littlest thing can offend anybody, So I put the orange bow on there because I wanted to. that's the end of it. So there it is, July. I stitched this for 2 days, July 1st and 2nd, and it was 591 stitches, just for the J. It's pretty good, I would say. Hey. Here's my floss bag. Here's my project bag. Oops, everything just fell out of it. This is the Stitch North 2022 bag that we got from Caroline. Okay, then the next one I'm going to show you is my favorite project ever. It is this one. It is June Blooms by Margaret Morales, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. She was released, I think, in June of 2020, and I saw her and I fell madly in love. I've never fallen so hard for a project before in my life. And I got her, and I started her on my birthday. So I always stitch Junie on the week of my birthday. So this year, Junie turned 2. I turned 31. She's my baby. She's the only baby I'm ever going to have. Sorry, Mom. I mean, you already knew that, but that's fine. I don't recall the count of the fabric, but it's really nice and buttery, and she's stitched all in DMC. So there she is. Last time I think I had just a little bit done in this row, or this column I should say, but that's the bottom of the next row, and then her face is like right over here, so we're going to meet her soon, hopefully. But that's 2 years worth of work. It's pretty good. I think I'm at 20%. I don't have my tablet's dead. I'm very underprepared for this video. My tablet is dead, so I couldn't tell you. But there it is. June Blooms. I stitched on this for 5 days for a total of 1,427 stitches. Then because I was at the cottage, I decided to finish this piece. Oh, it's not really finished. This square is finished. It is the January block of the Owl Forest patchwork calendar. This is the January block. All I really added was the spikes around the edges, but that's 400 stitches, and I stitched on that for 1 day. So that's a 1/12 of a finish. And then the last thing that I stitched on this month was my boho owl. My boho summer owl. This is stitched on 25 count Ada magic grid, except I washed out the grid and then I regridded it because I'm crazy. It's fun. My goal for this is a page finish by the end of next month. I think I'm on track. I'm technically behind on my quota for the month by 90 stitches. I feel like that's okay. I feel like that's not detrimental to the timeline. But yeah, so like this is what it's supposed to look like when it's ready. You know, there's the outline of the owl. I still have like a couple little things to do in the background, but then it's just owl stitching for August. So in the month of July, I stitched 1,333 stitches on this bad boy. Pretty good, eh? Pretty good. I'm just going to tell you my plans now for next month. Can you guess? I'll let you guess. Yeah, I'm going to stitch on my August cricket, the boho summer owl, and June blooms, if I can. Yes, my goal is this year is to finish all the crickets. So those are my primary focus pieces. I would like to get a page finish on all the boho owls. So far I'm on track. And then June is just to fill in the time when I have it. So that's what I want. This is my month. I keep track of all of my stitching with specific washi tapes. And in total I stitched 3,751 stitches, which is pretty good considering everything else that I have going on, which I'll talk about in my life update if you're there. Stitching. Check. So I have gotten things this month that are stitching related, so I will show you those as well. I am subscribed to the Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers Fabric of the Month because I have plans, top secret plans, that I will enact next year, hopefully. So I get a piece of fabric from them every single month, but then I'm also subscribed to the floss pack just for fun. I don't use them as much as I should, but I have them in case I ever want them. So I have June's pack here. It was called Mermaid Mules. It's blue. I don't know if you can tell. It's blue. I got the 32 count linen. And look at this. They just keep getting better and better. They're fabrics that I would never buy. This is the fun thing about these things, is that they're fabrics that I would never buy. But once I have them, I'm like, oh my god, so amazing. So it's blue. It's like an aquamarine, but then there's green modeling. I don't know, maybe you can see better on this side. Oh yeah. There's like green modeling. It's very cerulean sea. Bum ba dum ba. Bum ba dum ba. Do 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 dee 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 dee. Yes, so I'm very excited for that. I will be getting these until November. And then I will be canceling at least the fabric. Maybe. Yes, I will be. Yes, I will be. But I might keep the floss pack. Who knows? It's not like I'm using the ones that I'm getting. Speaking of floss pack, good transition. These are the June flosses that go with the fabric. The theme of this is Under the Sea. Bum, bum, ba-da. So the first one here is called Sea Glass. It's like a nice light blue. That's actually my mom's favorite color. Mom, you can have this one. Very pretty. Pretty. Pretty flower. We have Mermaid Tears, which is more of like an aquamarine. Actually, I don't know if you can see, there's like two distinct colors. There's like a more of a blue, and then there's more of a green. Not really, but that's really pretty. We've got Moana, one named after Moana. That's really pretty. It's like a deeper, it's like almost like a teal color. Pretty. We've got Atlantis, a deep, deep blue. Actually, it's a pretty variegated blue. You can't really see. It goes like from a medium tone blue to a dark blue to like greenish blue. That's really pretty. They're all pretty. And then we've got the Piece de Resistance, Mermaid of Atlantis, which is the most variegated one in the pack. What happened? Okay, there. Good. It's got greens, it's got blues, it's got greens and blues, and some greens and some blues. Very pretty. So pretty. So good. So I know I say this every time, but these are like this. Getting these packs are my favorite. I just love, because like she gives you previews on Instagram, but then by the time it comes, I've seen the preview for the next month, so I forget what the month is, and then it shows up and I'm like, oh my god, yes. Blue. Okay, and then I also got the July pack of the month, which makes me very, very happy because July is my birthday month. Don't know if you knew, but then the color was like a rosé kind of color, which I love rosé, and it's also pink, which like, hello, I love pink, so it just checked all the boxes. It's called Summer Soiree. Same count as the last one. So here is the fabric. I probably actually would have bought this one. So it's like a rosy pink color with green modeling. You can see. I don't have to explain it to you. Your eyes work. But look at, oh, so pretty. And the nice thing is that what I'm buying these for, I'm not going to need the whole thing. So I'll still have pieces of all of them left over for other things. I'll beef up my fabric collection. Then the cottons of the month are called Blushing Rose. She gives you a little color palette down here. So that's pretty much what the colors are. We've got Sparkling Rosé, which is kind of like a bubblegummy pink. We've got Rose Ash, which is like a dusty rose. That's really pretty. I really like this dusty rose color right now. A lot of what I have is either pastel pink or dust rose, so that's my color. That's my jam. We've got Fading Rose, which is like a mauve color. Purpley gray. That's pretty. Then we've got Spicy Plum. And then we've got Sage. A nice green. It's like a perfect little pink and purple garden. That makes me happy. Did I mention that these make me happy? I don't think I did. They make me happy. So there they are all together with the fabric. So pretty. They're so pretty. Gosh. So those are my fabric of the month and floss of the month packs. But I also got, chan chan, I collect these. Do I stitch anything from it? Ah, yes. I have every one since 2016, I think. The legendary 2016 issue was my first issue. And I stitched one thing in all of those issues. One. I like stuff in all of the issues. Someday I would like to, you know, get around to them. But, okay, well, so, okay. Give me a second for a mini tangent. I love being regimented in my stitching. I know that sounds really weird, but I like having like a, I'm going to stitch this, and then I'm going to stitch that, and then I'm going to stitch this, and then that's it. I like having that. I do. Because like when I meet my goals, I'm like, yes, I'm so accomplished, professional. But then, you know, like, it doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room to stitch like fun little things, because I'm very like, you know, you just like, you gotta do it. You gotta. So a part of me is just like, just stitch what you want to stitch. So I've been sort of trying to think about what I want to do for next year. But the problem is that I still really want to maintain the same goals that I have. So like next year I'm starting some new projects that I'm going to be finishing hopefully the month that I start them. We'll see, because they're small. And then like I still really want to continue stitching my boho owls. And I really want to stitch Junie, so that's already 3. So, like, if I put the rest of my projects on a rotating, you know, I don't know, I don't know. It's like a weird math problem. If train A leaves train station A at 4 o'clock, how many cross-stitch pieces can I stitch on in a month? That's what it is. But anyway, this is the Halloween issue. I've flipped through it a couple times. I like quite a few of them. I don't think this is breaking any rules, but this is what's in the magazine. I'll show you from a distance so you can't really see. And I like this one. And I like this one. And I like this one. And I like these one. And I like these one. And I like these one. So there's lots. It's pretty good, actually. So that's what I bought. That's what I spent money on this month in terms of cross stitch. Yes, sir. Normally at this time I would be doing like a here's what I read and listened to and watched, but I feel like that segment is always really tough for me because I can't, like, I don't know, I don't really remember what I watched or whatever, so I think I might kind of nix that section. It doesn't really seem to go with my flow. I will say that I watched Thor on Friday, and it was very, very good. I'm very happy with that movie, with the exception of one thing, but you saw it coming. Other than that, like, I've just been watching, like, shows on Netflix, and, you know, I don't have much to talk about in this particular segment, so I don't think I'm gonna continue forward with this, unless I watch something where I'm like, yeah, amazing. So, yeah, we're sort of going to skip this, but I would like to add more things in here, because these are meant to be representations of me, for the future, that, you know, are just nice if you participate as well. So, like, you know, I get other stuff in the mail that's not cross-stitch related. I get, like, I like planning, like, I'm a huge planner, so I get, like, planner stickers and stuff like that. So I've been kind of debating for the last little bit if I should do stuff like that and show you guys everything that I get in the mail, everything that I buy, I don't know. I'm still toying with it. Let me know if you care. I guess it doesn't really matter because you can watch it if you want to, and then if you don't have to. I wouldn't be offended. But I don't know. I'm torn as to whether I want to do that or not because, like, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Sorry. I always go up on these. I'm so sorry. I have, like, such little mini tangents for no reason. That's everything to do with cross stitch. I have a pretty big life update that's coming up next. If you want to stay tuned for that, you're more than welcome to. I appreciate your ears. If you don't, that's totally fine. Not offended. You do you. But that's what's coming up next. Okay. So my life update is a saga. So sit yourself down. Maybe get some popcorn. Unless you're squeamish, then don't get popcorn. For the last, I don't know, almost 10 years, I've been having really hard problems with my stomach. In the sense that, like, I can't eat anything. Oh, I can, but it hurts. And it was like this whole thing. I don't know how many times I've got my blood work done for this. My doctor kind of sucks, to be honest, and she doesn't, like, listen. So I had to do a bunch of tests with her, and then I had to do a bunch of tests with a nurse practitioner, and then I got told that I had to go see a specialist, and so I went to go see this specialist that I had to wait a year for. I talked to him for 10 minutes, and he was like, we're going to make you do an MRI. I'm severely claustrophobic, so I was like, do we have to do the MRI? Does it have to be an MRI? And he was like, yeah, because I need to know if it's Crohn's or cancer or something in your kidneys or all of these scary things. And I was like, oh, all right, so it does have to be an MRI. Great, great. So I got a sedative for the MRI. I asked the receptionist at my doctor's office when to take the sedative, and she said an hour. She's like, just before you get into the machine. I was like, okay, I can do that. And then, you know, you get to the MRI. I didn't sleep the night before. I'm feeling nauseous already. Like, I'm sweating. I'm not happy. I'm scared. And the MRI ladies were very nice. They were very, very nice. And then they were like, well, we're going to make you drink like 1.5 liters of Metamucil water. So I was like, okay. And I'm like, when do I take my sedative? And she was like now, like an hour before you get in the machine. I was like, that's a different thing than the receptionist said to me. So I'm like, do I trust the MRI specialist or do I trust the doctor's office receptionist? And I trusted the doctor's office receptionist because I was having a day. So I didn't take my sedative until like half an hour before I got into the machine, which means it didn't kick in time. So that was the worst 15 minutes of my life. Well, that's an exaggeration, but it was a really tough 15 minutes for me. I think I was crying the entire time. Not sobbing, but like, you know, delicately crying. You know what I'm saying? And then it finished, and then the sedative kicked in. So then I had to find my way out of the hospital, sedated, to my father so that he could rescue me and take me back to the house. So then my results came back fine. There was nothing wrong in the MRI, which is good because that means it's not all of the scary things. And so the specialist was essentially like, you've got IBS. That's not curable. That's just a lifestyle change. And so I was like, okay, well, that's what I figured. So I'd already been sort of figuring out IBS and working with it and doing my jam. And then I had it pretty good. Like, I had it where I was comfortable with myself and my eating habits, and I had like a list of things to avoid. And then all of a sudden my triggers completely switched, and I couldn't eat like anything. Like, I could make a sandwich, you know, like a turkey sandwich on Monday, and I'd be fine. And I'd have the same sandwich on Tuesday, and I'd be fine. And then I'd have the same sandwich on Wednesday, and it would be like all-consuming gut pain. And then on Thursday, it would be fine. And that's not abnormal in IBS, but IBS is usually pretty standard. Like, if you can't eat spinach, you can't eat spinach ever. Whereas this one, it was unpredictable. So it was literally getting to the point where it's like, I don't know what I can't eat. I don't know what I can eat. I'll eat something, and then it'll hurt, and it'll be too late. And then I was just miserable. It put me in a bad headspace quite a lot. I was also missing work because of it. I'd wake up, and it just wasn't going to be a good day. So I'd have to call in sick, you know, from work. And I'm like, if this is supposed to be a manageable condition, like, I shouldn't be missing work for this. So I was really struggling with trying to figure out this flow and the system. And anyway, so a colleague of mine suggested that I try this nutritionist, this naturopath. The wait for her was incredibly long. It was supposed to start in April, but I was really busy in April, so I pushed it back to July. So here we are, July. You caught up to the storyline. I had to get my blood work done again for this lady, and I had a meeting with her on a Monday, and she was basically like, show me your tongue. So I showed her my tongue. Show me the palm of your hand. So I did that. And then she basically was like, yeah, you know, you don't have IBS. You have a bacterial infection in your intestines, a UTI, low cholesterol, and a fourth thing that I can't remember what it was. Wasn't important. It's fine. It's not fatal. And I was like, you're trying to tell me that after, 7 years of doctors being like, I don't know, you're going to look at my tongue and tell me exactly what's wrong with me? Skepticism. But then she told me what my symptoms are. All I had said to her was, I have IBS and I'm trying to figure it out. And she was like, here are your symptoms. So when you have a bacterial infection in your intestines, it, like, what you eat feeds the bacteria. So, like, if you don't get rid of the bacteria, they're obviously always going to be there. So, like, she said, you can eat something one day and be fine, and then eat something the next day and it'd be just painful. And I was like, that's correct. She's like, yeah, that's not IBS. That's a bacterial infection. She goes, and it's old. It's old. I guess there was some sort of, like, a hydrogen buildup on my tongue. I don't know the science. I was like, okay. And then I have a UTI. She was like, yeah, you have a UTI. And I was like, I don't have the symptoms of a UTI. She's like, well, you wouldn't because it hasn't hit your kidneys yet. And I was like, okay. And then I have low cholesterol, which the low cholesterol, if you have low, good cholesterol, your eyes are really dry. And I have very dry eyes. So I was like, that's correct. And so anyway, so she hit all my symptoms on the head, even the ones that I wasn't, like, expecting to have to talk about. But I was still a little like, I'm having a hard time, like, reconciling the fact that you just looked at my tongue and that's how you know, not that I said that to her, but, like, you know what I mean. So then she pulls up my blood work and she shows me the numbers in my blood work and it's all there. Like, it's all in my blood work. She's like, here's the white blood cell count in your blood. She's like, the highest this number should be is an 11 and you're at a 10.2 or 4. So, once it hits 11, it's in the red. And then it becomes serious, but you're floating under the radar because it's not red yet. So I was like, oh, she's like, but you technically have more white blood. Like, you're fighting you're more infected than, like, a COVID patient would be. I was like, oh, damn. And then she was like, you also, like, here's your UTI. You've got white blood cells where they shouldn't be. And the only reason they would be there is because they're fighting something. I was like, because, I don't know. You show me something. You tell me something and I'm like, yeah, okay. But if you show me the proof, I'm like, I see. Interesting. So, so she gives you a bunch of natural supplements that you take. And then she makes you a very regimented meal plan. Like, it's literally like, you eat this on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. You eat this on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Like, my lunch and dinner and snack and breakfast are all planned out by her. Which is fine by me, because I obviously couldn't figure it out by myself. So, that's what I've been doing. So it's literally like, and then when I told her that I'm working a full-time job and I'm a part-time student, she was like, I don't know how you're functioning. And I was like, I guess I am tired. Anyway, so my days have been pretty much like, get up, go to work till 5, come home, make dinner, which takes a bajillion years because I'm chopping vegetables until the day I die. Have dinner, do coursework, then maybe stitch if I have the energy and the time. So it's been a wild ride. But that whole story is just to say that I think I'm on a path of healing. And I'm very happy. The initial consultation that I had with her that first Monday put me in a really negative headspace. Like, really negative. Not because of what she said, but what that means for my whole story. I feel like it would not be wise for me to tell you my thoughts on that because, again, you might not, I don't know, I just don't. She said stuff to me, she blew my world apart, and I was just so disappointed in the last, couple years of my health care. So, I hope I'm on the track to heal. If I finish this program, it's a 2.5-month program. If I finish this program in September and I'm not where I want to be, at least I have a name for it that I can go to my doctor and be like, hello, I have bacterial infection in my intestines. Can you fix that, please? You also probably should have known it was there. But anyway, I'm tired. Like, my days are full of stuff to do, so I'm tired, but I'm not like drained like I was before. Like, I'm not in pain. I was constantly in pain before. I was constantly just like feeling like I was ready to explode, or like just sore or in pain, or like, you know, trying to figure out what this day is going to look like based on how I feel. But now I just wake up and I feel great. I feel healthy already. It's only been like 3 weeks and I already feel like good. I'm doing well. So that's my life update. I'll keep you posted. I'll still be on it at the end of, I'll still be on this program by the end of August. And then it finishes in September. So I'll keep you posted. But that's my life update. I'm very happy. Like, I have a very positive futurescape that I'm thinking of. Whereas before it was just like, I have to live with this for the rest of my life. Because I don't. It's not IBS. It's a bacterial infection. So once that infection is gone, so are all of my limitations. So it's not something I have to live with forever, according to this lady. So we'll see. I really want to place all my hope in this, but I also I'm used to disappointment, so I'm just sort of remaining as neutral as I possibly can. But yeah, so there we go. That's my whole video. That's everything I've got from start to finish. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. I will see you at the beginning of September, hopefully. And then we'll go from there. It's getting really tough for me. I think it's only because I'm doing all of these things, but it's getting really tough for me to be like, this is the day that I'll floss tube. Just because, like, my brain is everywhere else. Like, I'm very scattered right now. I don't know if you can tell. More than usual. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for being a good person. I hope you have a lovely August. It's probably going to be very hot August, but that's okay. I've got a lot of stuff coming up in August. I've got places to go, things to see. Yeah. All right. Well, see you guys on the flip side. Bye.